After several days spent touring wineries and vineyards and sampling our fair share of wine, we decided it was time to see a bit more of Mendoza, so we booked a full-day excursion to the high mountains to get a taste of the Andes. In this video, we'll be visiting the natural wonder of the Inca Bridge, gazing at Aconcagua, which is the highest peak in the Americas, and trying not to get blown off the mountain at Christ Redeemer on the border with Chile. This was a high-altitude excursion, and our bodies were definitely feeling it, but we'll do our best to show you what the province of Mendoza has to offer once you leave the vineyards in the rearview mirror. Well, good morning guys. Today we are taking a day trip from Mendoza. Our tour is called Alta Montaña. We're going to be making a few stops over the course of the day. Not entirely sure where we're going yet, but we will show you the whole journey. Our first stop of the day was the Potrerillos Dam, which sits on the Mendoza River at 1,380 meters above sea level. We had been driving about an hour when we got here, so we enjoyed a quick stop to snap some photos and also stretch our legs. From there we continued onwards to the town of Uspallata, which was another hour away. Once we arrived in Uspallata, we had some free time to walk around. The tour had started very early, so we were desperate for breakfast and went in search of coffee and a quick bite. Others enjoyed a little stroll through town, but it was still quite early in the day, so not many businesses were open. Food?
For me?
Oh, I'm so sweet. I need to be in the sunshine. Well guys, we just had a quick breakfast here in Uspallata. We had a 30-minute pit stop, bathroom break as well. So yeah, now we're getting back on the bus. I'm not entirely sure about today's itinerary. I'm kind of in the dark. From Uspallata, we drove another hour along Route 7, enjoying dramatic mountain landscapes and passing through small villages and hamlets until we reached our next stop, the Inca Bridge. So next stop, we are currently visiting Puente del Inca, which means the Incas Bridge. It's a natural rock formation that you used to be able to walk over. Now it's been blocked off because of erosion and people are going with their vehicles and things like that. But at the bottom you have these thermal waters. Yeah, and there also used to be a hotel where people could come and enjoy those waters, but they built the hotel at the foot of the mountain, and then they had a bit of a landslide,
and that's what's left.
Wow.
It's
Ruins.
been totally destroyed.
Totally ruined.
Yeah.
The only thing that survived is the chapel.
Yeah.
That was not touched by the landslide.
Right.
And yeah, you see the color of the rock here is the actual water that has so many different kinds of minerals, and with the heat of the water, that can go up to, she was saying it can go up to 60 degrees, no?
Whoa.
Yeah, it solidifies and then it gives that beautiful
kind of like an ochre green rainbow.
It's unbelievable. It's so pretty. It looks like it's painted.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like kaleidoscope of different colors here.
Yeah.
You got everything, every color in the rainbow practically, you know. And there you have it, Puente del Inca.
So these souvenirs we see here, they've basically taken items and put them in the water for about a month, and that's how it comes out. Aside from the Inca Bridge that we have here, this is also kind of like a little pit stop. So you have cafes, restaurants, bathroom stops, lots of souvenir and artisanal shops so you can pick up some gifts. But we don't have very long here. We have 20 minutes. We've used that time to visit the natural formation. Now we got to get back on the bus. It's one of those tours. We then stopped at the Aconcagua lookout point right along Route 7. On a clear day, you can see the peak of the highest point in the Americas, and we got pretty lucky with the weather that day. For any of you visiting by car with a bit more time, the entrance to Aconcagua Provincial Park is right next to the lookout, and there are multiple trails should you be in the mood for some trekking. Our tour just stopped for photos, but this is a place where the mountains beckon, so maybe give yourself a bit more time. We then drove on to the village of Las Cuevas and began the climb towards Christ Redeemer of the Andes, which sits on the border between Chile and Argentina at a rather dizzying height, and we were feeling it.
Alrighty guys, our next stop.
We have made it to Christ Redeemer. We are now at 4,200 meters above sea level. A little bit dizzy and lightheaded here. We also had to drive up this little dirt road that just zigzags all the way up. So
It's serpentine the whole way.
Serpentine, yeah.
that was something else.
Yeah.
But we're here now.
We made it. We are all the way up here, 4,200 meters.
Yep.
I was a little bit reluctant because when I was in Cusco, the altitude screwed me up big time, you know?
Yeah.
So we were coming up the pass, and when they told us 4,200 meters, I said, oh crap.
You remembered.
It wasn't fun all the way up here. But amazingly, no.
It's feeling good.
Feel good.
Good shape.
And
you know?
they also have little food stands here where you can buy some type of alcohol. I think they said aguardiente or something like that,
Yeah.
to warm you up and wake you up if you're feeling kind of lightheaded.
Yeah.
So that's the deal.
That's the deal.
Oh, and on one side we're in Argentina.
Other
the
side,
other,
Chile.
In Chile.
Let's get some photos by the flags.
Let's get the photos by the Christ, the Redeemer.
After visiting Christ Redeemer, we started our descent into Las Cuevas, where we had a scheduled lunch stop. Lunch is not included in this tour, so you either have to pack your own or you can eat at one of the few restaurants in the village. Meals are simple and quick. We got some empanadas and some French fries since none of us really had a big appetite at that altitude. Las Cuevas was the final stop of our high mountain tour, so this is where we did a U-turn and started the 3-hour drive back to Mendoza. But let's fast forward to the next day so we can actually sit down and share some of our thoughts and impressions. Well, it is the next day, so time for some Concluding thoughts on the tour.
Yeah, it was an amazing day yesterday. We had up the mountain range. We felt a little bit after we came down from 4,200 meters.
Yeah.
Audrey was a little bit not 100%.
It's the altitude.
Yeah, and to be honest, all of us have been really thirsty ever since.
Yeah. It's you feel like kind of dizzy and spaced out and stuff like that. But all in all, it was a very nice experience. The thing is that you're traveling with the tours, in the minibus, and all of a sudden they say, okay, we're gonna go see the Christ, the Redeemer, the monument.
Yeah.
And it starts climbing like this, like, I mean, it's we were at 2,600 meters of altitude.
Yeah.
And in 15 minutes, we went up to 4,200.
Yeah.
We doubled it, right? So it doesn't really give you a chance for the body to adapt to the new...
you don't acclimatize.
No.
And also, I think if I could have done one thing differently, I would have brought more water as well.
Yeah.
And maybe like a sports drink, something with salts.
Yeah. It's
and electrolytes.
really very, very important to hydrate yourself constantly.
The only other scenery I've seen kind of like this in Argentina has been in like the Salta, Jujuy area.
Yeah.
And but I found it fantastic. What did you think, Audrey?
We really enjoyed seeing the mountains, like snow-capped mountains, and we left the city early in the morning, so we had soft light. The only thing is, we covered a lot of distance.
Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time sitting on the bus. Like the stops were very short, usually like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Except when we had 1 hour for lunch.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like quick, always on
Quick
the move,
paced.
on the go.
Yeah.
So if you do this tour, be prepared to spend a lot of time on the bus.
Yeah.
You've been warned.
And get a window seat. Because
Get a
you're
window
gonna-
seat.
It's spectacular.
Yeah.
And don't sit at the very end of the bus, because we were the last to be picked up.
Yeah.
And we got the last seats, and that thing really bounced, you know, like, I mean, and you're kind of cramped.
My dad
over
was in the corner, like the last seat in a corner. And the person in front of him was like putting his seat all the way back. It was like on your chin,
Oh my
basically.
Yeah, I was pinned down like almost.
Oh my God.
It was really bad.
That's the other thing I didn't love. The bus, like the seats inside were quite small, so it wasn't very comfortable.
Yeah, and
But the scenery was
Sardines in a can.
sardines, it's one of those.
It's a budget tour.
It's one of those Mercedes-Benz type of extended minibuses, you know, like I mean, for 19-seater stuff like that.
Yeah.
And another piece of advice is, even though you visit summertime or autumn or during your stay, you're gonna see that in the city of Mendoza, the climate is really warm. I mean, the days are hot still here, you know. Bring some sort of a jacket or something,
like a windbreaker and maybe a fleece underneath.
Yeah,
because
on that tour you're going to be hot, you're going to be cold, you're going to feel the wind. You get it all. You get like three in one climates.
Yeah, when you're up there at 4,200 meters, yesterday it was really blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, the wind was amazing, and you could feel the chill, you know, like it was cold.
Yeah.
So if you go on short sleeves or something like that, you're gonna run into trouble up there.
So overall, recommended. And
Yes.
thanks for watching this video. We'll see you with the next episode. We are heading back to Buenos Aires.
That's it.
Bye, guys.
Bye now.